Welcome to Leaders Built Different. On our first episode, what makes a true leader? I am a slow walker, but I never walk back. Abraham Lincoln. This line reminds me that leadership isn't about speed, it's about persistence, consistency, and direction. In today's world where burnout and quick fixes dominate, true leadership is about steady progress. Today we're breaking down what it really means to be built different as a leader, balancing strength with compassion and performance with mental well-being. When I was a young corporal in the Marine Corps, I learned quickly that leadership wasn't just about rank, it was about respect and connections. One of the greatest leaders I ever had was Captain Sheridan Conklin, my commanding officer in Bulkfield Company Alpha. Our relationship wasn't the standard leader-follower dynamic. He saw that I wanted more in life. Even as I was battling personal struggles, he knew he had to lead me differently. During my run for NCO of the quarter, he made sure I stayed locked in, not just to win, but to grow into the kind of leader that could handle bigger and better things. When I won, I thought he'd ease up. Instead, he pushed me harder. He saw arrogance creeping in and refused to let me slip. He worked alongside me, coaching me, even called me out when I veered off course. One night after going out to a going away party and I had too many drinks, my aggression boiled over. Captain Conklin pulled me aside. It ended with fists flying, but instead of writing me off, he chose to invest in me. He could have punished me, but instead he mentored me, and nurtured me. That moment changed everything. From 2011 until now, he has continued to guide me. Sheridan now, my friend, showed me that leadership is about persistence, patience, and never giving up on people, even when they stumble. Leadership in the Marines required both respect and trust. Sheridan saw my potential, guided me during the NCO of the quarter process, and even when I slipped, he corrected me with care instead of punishment. That moment of raw honesty, ending in a fight, then a breakdown, transformed our relationship into a lifelong mentorship. Leadership isn't just about titles or authority, it's about influence, responsibility, and the ability to see potential in people, even when they don't see it in themselves. So what does it mean to be built different? Leading in multiple arenas, fast forwarding to today, and my life looks very different, but the lessons remain the same. I'm working in multiple pods at once, serving on the emergency crisis response team, helping schools implement Navigate 360, delivering safe talk and assist trainings, hosting countywide suicide prevention task force, going to meetings, and at the same time, I'm an entrepreneur running my own business, Fit Drip LLC, an apparel brand that blends culture, activity, and awareness into statements. And of course, most importantly, my role of being a father. That's not just another pot, it's the reason I keep the others going. Balancing those roles feels a lot like being back in the Corps. Each requires consistency, respect, and humility. Some days the weight is heavy, but leadership isn't about ease, it's about persistence, even when the road gets hard. Back then, Captain Conklin saw potential in me I didn't yet see in myself. He taught me that leadership is about more than titles. It is about showing up, carrying the weight, and never walking back. Now I carry those lessons into every arena, whether it's protecting the community, training others to save lives, building a business, or raising my kids. Leadership has always been about people, and no matter the setting, Marine Corps or Cochise County, the mission is the same. Keep moving forward, built differently. Leaders who are built different don't just push people forward, they lift people up and meet them where they are. Getting into mental health. Leadership isn't just about vision and direction, it's about weight. Every leader carries the invisible weight of their team's well-being. It's the responsibility of knowing that your decisions ripple into their lives, their confidence, their growth, their stress levels, and even their sense of purpose. In the Marine Corps, I learned this early. A leader's tone can set the mood for the entire unit. A careless decision could jeopardize not just a mission, but the trust of Marines who depend on me. That same truth applies today in schools, business, the crisis response team, or even with my own family. The stakes may look different, but the weight feels the same. So how do we as leaders formulate what's best for our teams? First, we need to listen before leading. The people closest to the work often see things we can't from above. Their input isn't just valuable, it's essential. Next, we balance performance with well-being. A team that's burned out won't sustain successfully. Sometimes what's best isn't pushing harder, it's pulling back, recalibrating, or giving people space to recover. Next up is tailor leadership to the person, not just the position. Just like Captain Conklin did for me, great leaders recognize that each team member requires something different: encouragement, challenge, accountability, or sometimes just empathy. Lead with long-term vision, not short-term ease. It's tempting to put out fires and make choices that relieve immediate pressure, but true leadership looks ahead, choosing what will sustain the team months or even years down the line. Model what you expect. Teams mirror their leaders. If you want resilience, show resilience. If you want compassion, demonstrate compassion. Carrying this weight isn't easy. It can feel heavy, exhausting, even lonely at times, but it's also what makes leadership sacred. When we commit to carrying that weight with integrity and love for our people, we don't just shape better teams, we shape better futures. Leadership has always come with weight, but in today's world, that weight feels heavier. Burnout and anxiety and disconnection are everywhere. Teams aren't just battling deadlines anymore. They're navigating uncertainty, rapid change, and the quiet struggles that often go unseen. As leaders, we carry the responsibility not only for our team's performance, but their well-being. That makes recognizing that the pressure of always being on has consequences. Burnout erodes creativity. Anxiety weakens confidence. Disconnecting fractures the trust that every strong team depends on. So how do we carry this weight well? See people, not just positions. Behind every title or task list is a human being who may be carrying invisible burdens. Leadership starts with recognizing the whole person, addressing the burnout head on. Productivity isn't about pushing harder. It's about creating rhythms where recovery is built in. A rested, healthy team will outperform a burned out one every time. Tackle disconnection with intentional connection. Remote work, busy schedules, and constant distractions can isolate people. Leaders must create spaces for belonging, dialogue, and shared purpose. Normalize conversations about well-being. When leaders talk openly about stress, anxiety, and balance, it gives teams permission to do the same and to ask for help before it's too late. Lead by example. If we want resilient, connected teams, we must model resilience and connection ourselves. That means showing vulnerability, prioritizing self-care, and demonstrating balance. The truth is, the weight leaders carry can't be avoided, but it can be carried with wisdom. When we choose to lead with empathy, foresight, and consistency, we transform that weight into trust. And trust is what keeps a team from breaking under pressure. In today's workplaces, where burnout and disconnection threaten to tear at the fabric of teams, leaders have the opportunity to turn the weight they carry into something powerful. Stability, belonging, and a reminder that no one has to walk alone. Leaders built different creates a space for people to thrive mentally, emotionally, and professionally. A leader is a dealer in hope. Napoleon. Hope is what keeps people moving forward on the battlefield, in business, and in everyday life. 3 things we can do is we can check our pace. Ask yourself, am I moving forward steadily or burning out my team by sprinting? Build resilient rituals. Open check-ins, encourage breaks, model calm under pressure. And lastly, leading with listening. Spend 1 meeting this week saying less, ask more, and noticing mental health cues in your team. Too often, meetings are treated like checklists: what needs to get done, who's responsible, and when it's due. But as a leader, we must see them as more than that. Morning and end of day meetings aren't just about tasks. They're about checkpoints for our people. Morning meetings set the tone. They're not just about assigning work, they're about reading the room. Is someone already stretched thin? Does the team look energized or exhausted? Are we about to pile more weight onto someone who's already at capacity? This is the moment to distribute tasks wisely, to pause before adding more, and to make sure no one is silently drowning. End of the day meetings serve a different purpose. They're a chance to reflect. Did we balance the workload fairly? Did anyone carry too much today? Did the urgent get in the way of the important? There's also a space for teammates to share what felt heavy, what they accomplished, and what might need support tomorrow. When we approach these meetings this way, they become more than operational, they become relational. They communicate to the team your well being matters as much as the work you produce. Because leadership isn't about dumping tasks and walking away, it's about carrying the responsibility of ensuring the weight is distributed evenly. A team can handle heavy loads, but only if no one is carrying it alone. Thank you for turning into our very first episode of Leaders Built Different. If today's episode gave you something to think about, please like, share, and subscribe. It helps us reach more leaders committed to making a difference. If you have a leadership challenge or a story you'd like me to cover in a future episode, drop it in the comments or message me on social media. Next week, we're going to talk about the weight of command, leadership lessons from the battlefield to real life. Thank you.